Boom.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. We are back for yet another fun episode of the Insurance Bro Show. I'm going to get confused and like business bros, insurance bro, business bro, insurance bro. Anyway, for all of you insurance pros out there, just want to say thank you all for joining us today. And before we jump into the show, quick reminder, please subscribe on whatever platform it is that you're listening to us on today. Give us a like, give us a follow, subscribe, and drop a review and help other like-minded business owners find value from our guests and our content as we rise up in those podcast rankings. We will sincerely appreciate every single one of you that does that. And if you want to be a guest on the show, we would love to have you on and learn from you as well. Go to www.insurancebro.com/guest and schedule your time slot. Don't forget to follow me on all social media at Insurance Bro Show.
The Insurance Bro Show is a podcast for agents who want to grow their agency and be titans of the insurance industry. Learn from a panel of experts who share their agency struggles, their experiences with the nation's best carriers, and share the marketing secrets that successful insurance agents are using today. Now, here's your host, the Insurance Bro, James Cias.
I see you doing the whole lip singing game in the background, dude.
I mean, I listen to it every single day, so you know it's one of those
things.
You gotta
know it by now. You gotta know it.
I mean, you would think, but then here I am, like trying to like read my script or do my script by memory, and I'm like, yeah, nope, I don't even remember what I say. Insurance pros. Oh yeah, here we go.
What do I say? That thing. Every single day.
That thing. Oh man. It is a beautiful Thursday. I got a chance to go for a quick motorcycle ride for lunch, which was awesome. Man, beautiful day for a ride. Beautiful day here in San Diego, but got a lot to talk about. We have been digging into how to start an insurance agency, how to start an insurance business, how to build it. Because I mean, that's what we do. That's what we're doing around here. That's what we want to teach you to do, is to build an actual insurance business. So,
wait. Before we dive into the 5 tips of success, clarify to the audience the difference between becoming an insurance agent and building a business.
It comes down to two things: time and energy. Save yourself time, energy, and money. Systems, that's what it comes down to. The number one thing that it comes down to for me is systems. If you want to build a insurance business, if you want to build any business, you need systems. Systems are the things that are the foundation of your business. It's what makes you, it's what gives you the opportunity to be able to leave your business and come back and still have a business. If you want to leave for 6 months and go on vacation and you come back and you still have a business, your company is still running, then you have a business. If you leave for 6 months and you come back and you have no company, everything's gone and it's all gone to waste, then you have a job. You've built yourself a job, which is great. You're still your own boss. You're still, not answering to anyone except your customers. But if you can't leave for 6 months or take a 2-hour lunch break, and whatever, like these are things that a system does for you.
And that's who we want to be talking to. We want to be talking to people who are ready to build a system. Now, granted, sometimes you have to start at the bottom, right? You start as an insurance agent, you get your license, you do the work, but we are trying to develop something for you guys to be able to step into an existing system so that you can move from being that insurance agent, that solo insurance agent, to having an office, to having an actual business long term. So when you listen to the show, that's the perspective that we're coming from when we're talking to those insurance agents out there.
That's right. We want to be talking to people who want to build a business, not just own their job.
All right, let's start off with the article. Where does it come from today?
Today's article comes from Chron. Haven't heard of Chron before, but CHRON, Chron. So thank you to the folks over at Chron who gave us this article. Let me see here. smallbusiness.chron.com. And then it's 5 steps. Here we go. Ready?
Step number one,
understand your product. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward.
Common sense, right? It sounds pretty common sense, but common sense isn't always that common. So what happens in the insurance space is the same thing that happens to podcasters, the same thing that happens to realtors, is you don't niche down. There are so many different insurance products and variations of insurance products out there that you tend to dabble here and kind of learn a little bit of that and practice a little bit of this and sell one or twosies of these, you're not really specifying a niche. You're not getting good at one thing. What's your opinion on niching down, Ham?
Well, definitely. I mean, it's very highly recommended if you want to be the best. Yesterday, we were lucky enough to have the flood insurance guru on the show, Chris Green, and his entire niche, everything that he does is all around flood insurance. He doesn't even do anything else. So absolutely, the more you focus on a specific on that niche, the better off you'll be. So just a quick story here. Think about your everyday run-of-the-mill doctors, right? You've got your family practitioners, you've got your urgent care doctors, you've got your emergency room doctors, you've got, all these different doctors in the world that all get paid really well, right? Doctors get paid well for sure. Okay. But think about the doctor that fixes all of the ankles in the NFL or the knees in the NFL. I forget his name, but if you're an NFL fan, I think it's like Dr. Andrew something or another, this guy is a specialist. The person that is a general run-of-the-mill doctor, they're going to make good money, don't get me wrong. But the one who specializes in those ankle injuries, in those knee injuries, in brain surgery, in heart surgery, right? These are the doctors that get paid a ton of money for the least amount of work. One of my favorites actually is probably anesthesiologists. Like they come in, they poke somebody with a shot, they leave, and they get paid bank for that. Right?
They got to make sure you wake up. It's not the putting you to sleep part. It's the part that where you wake up. That's the important part. Well, okay,
exactly.
So I'm gonna throw the other perspective on here because you were talking about doctors, right? And so doctors, absolutely vitally important that you specialize, you get paid niche down. But we all think, a doctor though, they're smart. Like they go to school for a long time. Those are smart people. Mm-hmm. What about everybody else? We talk to entrepreneurs all the time. Yesterday, for example, Sean, his name was Sean, right? I got that right. Sean? Flood insurance guru?
No, Chris.
I was thinking Green.
Way
Sean
off.
Green.
Sean Green.
Green. Okay. So,
anyway,
all right, Chris
Green.
Chris, for example, what you guys didn't hear after the show is he was, or before the show, I don't remember exactly, but he's like, dude, I'm not very good at school and stuff. Like, this is the one thing I'm really good at. And you hear this often over and over again. Henry Ford wasn't an educated man. He was very good at this one thing. You hear it over and over from successful people that they're not the smartest person in the room. They don't know everything about everything. They know everything about one thing. And that's the success rate that you have to understand. So when you're developing your niche, when you're working on one thing, if you get really good at that one thing, if it's second nature to you, if you know all the ins and outs, you can come at it from every single angle, you're the expert. And people are going to come to you for that one thing. That NFL guy you were talking about, the NFL doctor, they come to him for the knee and that's it. They come to the other doctor for the ankle and that's it. They don't come to him when they have a cold. They don't come to him when they have anything else, right? That's the only thing they come for. For Chris, the only thing they come to him for is flood insurance, but he does it so well. He can save people so much money. He gives them so much information that carriers come to him for advice. Right. And so that's the difference. That's why niching down is so important. Understanding your product is about being able to be the expert in that one thing. And yes, it can get boring. Yes, it can be a day-to-day, you're stuck doing the same thing over and over and over again. But that's what makes you awesome at that thing. You become an expert at that one product or at that one service area.
So I'm gonna just say that I think you got ahead of us here because one of our other points is select an expertise. And basically, that's everything that we've been saying for the past 9 minutes. 7 minutes or so, is really more about selecting your expertise. It's about niching down. It's about selecting one thing that you're going to be good at. So going back to understanding our product, it's understanding insurance. I mean, you got to be able to explain all of the different coverages in a more general sense, but definitely niching down is going to be even more beneficial. So, let's just go ahead and skip on and talk about becoming an educator, because this is where you become a trusted advisor. This is where you move from being seen as a salesperson as being seen as a valued member of somebody's team. When you are building a business, you're going to have all of these different team members. You're going to have your production line, right? You're going to have your salespeople. You're going to have the people on the front lines that are doing all the administrative work and all this other stuff. You're going to have people on your team. Hopefully, you have somebody who is an attorney and an accountant, and a bunch of different things. You have some HR assistants. All these different things. These are all different members of your team. And as people are building their own businesses, they expect to have these same people on their team, and one of their team members is going to be the insurance person. The insurance person that another business owner is going to have on their team is going to be one that provides value, is going to be one who teaches them and shows them why they are getting the insurance that they're getting. If you are someone who is selling strictly on the price, your customer is going to leave you based on the price. If you are someone who is teaching your customer based on coverages, based on the education, based on the value based on the value that you're bringing through that education, that's where somebody is going to want to keep you on their team for the long term, because they're getting value from you. They're getting that education. They're getting your knowledge. They're getting your expertise. They're getting all of these different things that any other agent is just trying to beat the price.
I like the other side of it too. When you don't really understand what you know until you turn around and try to teach it to somebody, right? That's when you really figure out how much stuff you know. Teaching is one of the most difficult things to do, because you realize what you don't know right then and there. When somebody asks you a question and puts you on the spot, now all of a sudden they're gonna understand the BS meter right away if you try to guess at it. If you try to think about maybe having an answer. This is where you can get really good at saying, you know what, let me look that up. And in the process of you going back and doing some research and getting those answers that you're looking for, all of a sudden, you know a little more. You know how to answer that question. This is why people who have been in business for a while, who talk to customers on a regular basis, sound so smart about their niche, because they get asked so many things. They get so many objections. They get so many questions. They get so many different opinions about what's going on, and they have to go back and do the research and be that expert in the field. So part of it is becoming educated. The other part of it is educating your clients, or educating people in your industry or your peers or your team, because when you do that, that makes you even more of the expert. You realize what you know and what you don't know.
Exactly. Did you hear a knock? Thought I heard.
I don't think so.
I don't know. Anyway, moving on. Select an expertise. Understand your product. Did we talk enough about that? I mean, this is the key. This really is the key. The riches are in the niches. One of the things that I have struggled with, one of the things that I would say our agency has struggled with, is when we get asked that question, what do you guys sell? Mm-hmm. And we have so many different team members. We have so many different people on our team that sell so many different products that we do it all. We do it all
when it comes to the insurance side. But when it comes to the business side, and this is where you and I have been working on trying to really narrow down that elevator pitch, right? Actually, funny, I was thinking today about different types of segments that we can do on the Business Bro Show. And one of them I think was going to be, they should pitch slap us. Right. And so nice. Give people an opportunity on the Business Bros Show to pitch us their business. Right. I mean, that's what they're there for anyways. They're there to get exposure. So pitch me what you're going to do. And the reason why I was thinking of that is because it's going to help us narrow down our pitch, get ideas of how they develop their pitch and what they're doing, so that we can have something really quick and concise, because we're not in the insurance business. We're in the business of giving people the opportunity to grow their business through insurance. Exactly. But it doesn't sound as sexy when I say it like that. So we got to, come down and figure out, how do we describe
when we talked about it? When we talked about it this weekend or last, what did we say? When somebody asks us that question, what do you sell? What kind of insurance do you sell?
I don't sell insurance. I sell the opportunity. Yeah. And that's the thing, is I don't have it right off the top of my head.
I don't sell insurance. I sell the system that allows you to sell insurance.
Yeah, and even then, it doesn't sound as cool, right? I mean, it's still a work in
We're
progress.
still
It's almost
working
like
on it.
it's almost like our goal, right? And our number one rule in business is to be of service to others. That rolls off the tongue really easy. People understand that it's quick, it's simple, and that's the thing about selecting your expertise and being good at that thing and understanding what it is you're good at and looking at from different angles. Because once you get your pitch down, once you understand that, then it's easy to say that to somebody else. But it comes down to how are you answering that question on a regular basis, and that's why asking people and getting other people's opinions and getting other people's advice and listening to the way they do things is so vitally important. Part of becoming, selecting your expertise is narrowing down that niche and really focusing in on what is it that I do? What is it that I focus in on? What is it that I am an expert at?
So for us, the expertise, the thing that we've narrowed down, the thing that we are really building is the system. It's the system that you as a business owner can plug into your existing business and use it to start selling insurance out of your existing business. If you're listening and you are a tax professional, you're a real estate agent, you are a CPA, what else? Anything in the financial industry, in the financial space, you have likely a book of business. You have a list of clientele, people that you've done business with in the past, people that come to see you maybe every year as a tax professional. And these are the folks that you can sell insurance to, but maybe you don't want to learn how. Maybe, learning how to sell insurance on top of what you're already doing is a bit too much. That's why we've created the system that we have that is easy to install into what you're already doing so that you can sell insurance, create that additional income revenue stream. So for us, that's been, Hernan and I, that's been our expertise. That's been what we have been working on. And we are encouraging our agents now to select an expertise that they want to focus in. We're encouraging our listeners to select an expertise that they want to focus in. Just like when we had Chris on the show yesterday, flood insurance, that's what he does. That's what he's good at. That's what, that's all you're going to get from him. When we had Mike Fusco on the show, he's an expert when it comes to the construction industry. The more people that we talk to, I know that the more we're going to see niches and expertises and specialities. And that's what you want to do as an insurance agent, because the more that you learn about a specific space, the better you're going to be able to sell those products, be able to provide the right coverages to your customers based on their needs.
Boom.
Market
yourself. Success tip number 5. Step to success.
4.
Market yourself. Oh, sorry. 4. Number 4. Sorry, we didn't put the numbers.
We didn't put the numbers on. I know.
All right, so market yourself, dude. And this is one of those things. Dude, this is one of those things that we've started to excel at on a regular basis, man. This is what the podcast is all about. But I was on a podcast this morning, actually around 8 a.m. and I was talking about the power of podcasting and how we've been using it to grow, and how we've been using it as a networking tool and how it's helped us, hone in our messaging. It's how it's allowed us to talk to other professionals in other spaces. It's allowed us to meet new people. It's allowed us to grow our network. So many amazing things, but it all comes down to one simple point, right? If you're in business, you need to get in front of more people and tell them what it is you do. And the thing about this whole market yourself is it can get as convoluted as I was just describing. It can get as crazy as, I create specific content for Instagram and it's a little bit different for LinkedIn, and the algorithm here is doing this and I pay ads for this over here. Yes, you can do all those technical things. Absolutely true. But the truth is, how many people are you talking to every single day and telling them what it is you do? The podcast has allowed us to do that. And that's why we're big advocates of having a podcast, because of the people that you can reach, because of the value that you can bring to your existing clientele, because of the ability for you to have the long tail effect by having a number of content pieces that are floating out there on the internet that are searchable for you.
What's cool is when you said this, I think yesterday, that there are a lot of times that somebody will do a Google search for any one of our guests. And it turns out that through our podcast, through the work that we've done, our podcast shows up on the highest search result for that guest because they don't have as much content. So that's what it comes down to, is creating as much content, putting out as much information as you possibly can. Chris, yesterday, dude, I'm telling you, like it was so cool to learn from him. He did 365 educational videos in 365 days last year. 150 blog posts and 100 podcasts. 150 blog posts in 150 days, 100 podcasts in 100 days. Like, this dude is just putting out the content. Right now, he's working on putting out 1,000 pieces of content in 2020, which means he's been posting 3 times a day. I mean, this is amazing stuff. So
I wish we would have recorded right after the show too, because he dropped some gems right there too. I mean, sharing things like, he was talking about an insurance guy, right? So you guys are insurance people. If you're selling auto insurance and you're going to do a post, one of the things he said was like, dude, don't just do a post in your living room. Go outside, open the hood of your car, and do the post right there. Like, that's where you're going to be talking about stuff, because the background that you have will play into the message that you're giving to the audience. I mean, the other amazing gem I thought was keep a spreadsheet of the questions that people are asking you. That was money, dude. Like, that to me, that was like genius. Today I went to the assessor's office, and as I was driving home, I was like, oh, I'm an idiot. I should have done a post right there at the assessor's office, knowing that. And I didn't even know it was closed now because it's purple again. California went to purple, so it's closed. But anyways, I was at a different location. I could have utilized that location to create a piece of content that would have been more useful to my audience, because it's a little bit different. The background says a little bit more about where I'm at. There's relevance to where I'm at versus just my normal background. Things like that. Those were amazing. I love how he said he did a video laying down on his carpet, holding his phone up, talking about, how flood insurance flood coverage can cover his carpet or whatever, that's amazing, right? The thought process is simple. Just be yourself, have some fun, whatever it is you're talking about, try to put the background or whatever in the same spot. Those are great ideas for quick little pieces of content. No, you don't need a fancy mic. No, you don't need the light ring. No, you don't need
He's
all
like, no,
these
I got my
things.
phone. This is my fancy camera right here.
That's it. And most of us, I don't know about you guys, but my iPhone 11 is an amazing camera. It does. I got the
iPhone like 6 or 7. So
you're gonna upgrade soon. You'll see.
It's fine.
You know what? Sometimes I look at the camera and I'm like, man, I got wrinkles. Like, I didn't know up close. I didn't know you had crow's feet. Like, I was like, oh no, I don't like the niceness of this camera.
It's too nice, too good. It's too good.
Too nice.
But camera's too good.
Yeah, camera's too good. Can you step back a little bit? Can you blur it? That's good right there. That's perfect. That's how I see the world. No, but that's something that we need to get over. And the fact that you guys are afraid to do video, especially in the insurance space. Man,
I know, right?
In the insurance industry, it's so boring out there. You guys are afraid to put up social media content. Yeah, you're afraid to put out content. You're afraid to be yourself. You're afraid to laugh. Not when we get you at a convention, though. Get you at a convention, you guys are all great, right? But
yeah.
Online.
Well, we're all just hanging out with each other there, though.
Yeah, right?
We're all just hanging out with each other, and nobody's putting out the content there. But yeah, absolutely, market yourself. Put out as much content as you possibly can. Take a note out of Gary Vee's book, and all these different influencers that are out there. We are on the front lines of this digital revolution, right? I mean, if we're just starting now, we're behind the curve, frankly. But there's still time, there's still time, because it's still such a new technology. It's still headed, we're all headed this direction. It's all going this one way. And it's such an easy, valuable tool. And especially if you learn how to really utilize the marketing tools, things like specifically targeting certain audiences. If you want to specifically target certain audiences when you're niching down, you want to specifically, you pick construction as your target market, you can niche down and even target your advertising to people in the construction space. Like, literally, your social media accounts will allow you to do that.
How about this, dude? Like, speaking of not being funny or not posting stuff on social media, why aren't we taking our cues from the giants in our industry? You ever seen a Progressive commercial that's not funny? Probably not. They're pretty funny, right? What about a State Farm commercial? Farmers commercial? What, all these commercials, Geico, man, they got all kinds of crazy stuff. They got a lizard, they got a caveman, they got a camel, they got all kinds of stuff. Why aren't you taking the cues from the people who are doing it the best in this industry? Be yourself, have some fun, be recognized for the individual that you are.
That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works.
Just as an example.
Yeah, that's a perfect example, right? We remember those things. You're the insurance agent. Don't be a secret agent. Secret agents have skinny kids. Be yourself. Enjoy life. Enjoy the things, ironies that are out there, right? All those things are great for your business. You know, if insurance agents and attorneys would have more fun, I think they'd get more business.
I know we're all scared of the of that law, though. You know, that's where it comes down to.
Everybody's
But-
afraid. Everybody's afraid. All right, last one.
Last one, sharpen your people skills. Honestly, that's part of the reason why I wanted to be a podcast host and why I wanted to interview people. There's a lot of, I'm pretty comfortable around people. When you and I went to the Christmas party a couple years back, the Big Block Christmas party, we walked in there really not knowing anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And I learned a little something about you that starting a conversation for you was tough.
It was.
Keeping the conversation going was much easier, but starting the conversation was tough. And I was on the other end. I was like, oh, I can start a conversation. It's keeping it going afterwards where I start to fall off. And, also it depends, right? Like when I go to, I don't know, my karaoke bar, for example, or any karaoke bar, I'm usually pretty good about having a few drinks and like getting to know people and singing some songs and having a good time.
A little
but
liquid
if I'm-
courage goes a long way.
Little liquid courage goes a long way. But if I'm like trying to network, it's tougher. And so part of the reason why I wanted to start this podcast and to interview people was to sharpen my people skills, was to be able to go to, the next insurance convention and to talk to all of these different people and maybe even be recognized by more people and say, oh, yeah, I remember you. You're the insurance bro. You got that podcast. I was on your show. And, having that camaraderie and then, going around and just having that shared experience and being able to chit chat with a bunch of different people on a bunch of different things. For the most part, it's not super difficult, but there's definitely a skill that I'm learning here in the podcast of, active listening and having just more to say, more to hear.
Well, I'll tell you what, I can't wait until the world gets back to normal. We start having conventions again. Because one of the greatest times I had was when we went to the real estate convention and we took our camera guy, right? And we were walking around just getting to know people. And that was one of the greatest, funnest experiences I ever had. People, it's funny because when you talk to people on camera, they have a little bit of a different personality. But once you break them in, like you get some great pieces of content. Just being able to talk to people, having those conversations, getting to know who they are, promoting their own stuff right there live while they have it ready to go as a demonstration. Those are all fun, great events. Plus, we get to document the whole thing. So I look forward to the world coming back so we can be out there sharpening our people skills amongst other people. But in the meantime, you don't have to wait until the world comes back for you to start sharpening your people skills. One of my favorite things to do, and if you send me a friend request on Facebook, I will not accept it until we've had some sort of communication. And usually it's me picking up the phone and giving you a video DM. You can now do that on LinkedIn too. You can connect with people just like that. Tell them, hey, thank you very much for the Facebook friend request. Say their name so you know that it's not an audio recording, right? This is not something you send out to everybody. You let them know something that's going on. Like, I talk about, this election's going crazy. I can't believe what's going on. I hope you have a great day. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday afternoon, whatever it is. Be personal. Get out there. Talk to people. I don't care if you're podcasting. I don't care if you're knocking on doors. I don't care if you're picking up the phone. Talk to people every single day. You'll learn to handle objections better. You'll learn to be more interested than interesting. You'll learn to handle those conversations and you'll build relationships. And that's where your business is going to come from. It doesn't come from the onesie, twosie transactions. It comes from the relationships you build, and those relationships are being built with people. Doesn't matter how you're connecting with them.
Hells yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's all we got. Those are our 5 steps to success in the insurance industry. Lots more to go. Tomorrow, we're going to have another awesome guest. Really looking forward to this one. We're going to have Julius Floria out of the Freedom Equity Group. And next week, we have 3 so far scheduled, 3 guests scheduled for next week. So all of this is going to be a lot of fun, lots of opportunity to learn from professionals that are out there doing what you are doing. And the great thing about this whole thing is that we can learn from one another. Wherever you are, whether you're a step ahead or a step behind, I know that there's going to be a lot that you can learn from our awesome guests that are coming in tomorrow and all of next week. So for all of you out there, don't forget to follow me on all social media at Insurance Bro Show. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review the show. And if you want to be a guest, we would love to have you on as well. Help me fill up my calendar for next week and those weeks after. Go to www.insurancebroshow.com/guest and schedule your time slot today. Other than that, we got nothing else. Thank you, all of you, for tuning in. As always, you rock my socks, you have my heart, and you
have a nice day.
Thank you for tuning in to the Insurance Bro Show. James is the CEO of the Pipeline team of San Diego and is always in the market for top talent. If you're an agent looking for a place to hang your license, visit www.pipelineinsurance.com/agent opportunities or send an email to newagent@pipelineinsurance.com. Look for James